So we need to talk about my library book haul. Things got a little out of hand. So when I'm filming this, Atlanta is supposed to get snow in like 2 days. And I just decided to go to the library. I had some holds anyway, and I'm going to blame that on booktube because I've been watching everyone's best books of 2024, and I had my library app open, and I ended up getting or requesting a number of the books that you all loved. Yeah, and then I just went and looked at the shelves, which I do. I love just walking through the stacks. So yeah, quite the library book haul to talk about. So let's just get into it. I will say background noise is my heater, of which I am a very big fan. I live in an old house, and there's just so much you can do to keep heat from escaping. But I don't want to put the heat up too much because then I have to pay the bill. So we're going to have the heater on, and I apologize if you hear that in the background, but it's a necessity right now. So first book that I do have is Jamie Ford's The Many Daughters of Afam Moy. I talked about this in my January TBR. This is my book club book, so look forward to that. I also got American Rapture by CJ Lead. This I was intrigued by Shannon at Pages and Polish. She was talking about this on her best of list, and I was kind of gripped. It's I like the cover too. So it's about the end of times. A virus or something, and a good little Catholic girl compared to Neil Gaiman's American Gods meets The Last of Us, which have not read either one of those, but I was intrigued. So we've got that one. And then another one, let me see if I can find it in my pile. Another one that Shannon talked about was I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. I think Kayla at Books and Lala also had this as her favorite of the year. I've never read Stephen Graham Jones, and I've gotten his books out from the library before. I really want to try this author. So they said it was a good standalone, good place to start for Stephen Graham Jones, so I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try it. One of the books that I have on my wish list, I had not seen at the library, and when I had looked for it once on the catalog and didn't see it, and then I went and looked at the new releases. And this has been out for a minute in the UK, but it must have just come out in the US, or the library just got it. But this is the Green Budget Guide, 101 Planet and Money Saving Tips, Ideas and Recipes by the Great British Bake Off winner, Nancy Birtwistle. I saw some of her books mentioned on Lauren in the Books. She can't remember which one Lauren was reading, but I started following, after I saw that on Lauren's channel, I started following Nancy on social media, and a lot of the tricks and tips that she gives on her Instagram just kind of made me think, I'm going to look into her books. And since we're doing our low spend year, I decided to get the budget guide. All right, that's my current read. See what I mean? Like, I'm currently reading The Trees, which this is my book, not a library book. And they're just everywhere. They're everywhere. All right, so the cover interested me. This is The Coast Road by Alan Murren. I don't think I saw this, or maybe I did. I'll have to look back on whose I might have seen this on, but this is a debut novel about the lives of women in a claustrophobic coast town and the search for independence in society that seeks to limit it. So it's in this one I'm a little scared of, and I've seen it on booktube, but it was on Brittany Loves Reading's Best Books of 2024, and I'm not sure. I'm gonna try it. And that is How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. I've seen this, and when I pulled it up, it said for fans of Cloud Atlas, which I haven't read, and Station 11, which is one of my favorite books. Follows a cast of intricately linked characters over hundreds of years as humanity struggles to rebuild itself in the aftermath of a climate plague, a daring and deeply heartfelt work of mind-bending imagination. So it starts off in 2030, and I'm not really reading synopses. That might be like, I don't do resolutions, but if I did, it would be to stop reading synopses because they definitely ruin things. I was in Sprints the other day with a couple of ladies, like Tiffany from Beach Bum Bookworm. I think Storm from Storm Reads was on there, and they were talking in the comments about this author, and so I looked her up and decided to try one of her standalones, and this is The Diamond of London by Andrea Penrose. Basically a privileged daughter wants to kind of break away from her father, and her uncle helps her take on the glittering, treacherous heights of London society. So we'll try it. And then this, I saw the author was mentioned by Krista at Books and Jams, and the one I wanted to try was Nosy Neighbors by Freya Sampson. And this is about a 77-year-old Dorothy Darling has lived in her house longer than any of the other residents. Oh yeah, it's a like a community living place. She's cantankerous and meddlesome as they come, but she has her reasons for spying, and none of them require justifying herself to Kat Bennett. 25-year-old Kat has never known a place where she felt truly at home, and crumbling Shelley House is no different. So it's an apartment complex. Sorry for the glare. This one's really getting it. Can you see the cover? Looks really fun. So an older woman kind of pairs up with a 25-year-old and gets into some hijinks, I'm sure, in an apartment complex. How fun. Okay, had a little bit of a tripod emergency. I think I messed up my tripod. I have to fix it. Anyway, back to, so the next one is How to Age Disgracefully by Claire Pooley. So Daphne finds herself alone on her 70th birthday. She decides she needs some friends. And I think it just kind of goes through some of the friends she makes. Now, I gotta say, I was looking for books about or featuring main characters who are older than the typical 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 30-year-old main character. Obviously, because I am not, I'm in my 40s, but I felt like, and maybe it was how I searched for them, but they either are in their 20s, 30s, or they jump to be in their 70s and 80s. Has anyone else noticed that as a trend? I'm just not sure, but that's what I found. We'll still try them because I love an older main character like that. All right, so one more that I heard good things about. And this one I did get out before. It is What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher. I did read the first one. I think maybe I was talking about this with Krista, or maybe we were talking about it on our sprints. I don't remember. We were talking about T. Kingfisher. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. Because I also got out Thornhenge by T. Kingfisher, which Krista liked. Krista read this and liked. And then I also got out What Feasts at Night. It's the second in the, does she have a name for it? I don't know what the series is called, but I did read the first one, What Moves the Dead, which it was interesting. It got a little gross. Like, body horror is not my thing. And I'm pretty sure this one has body horror in it too. So I don't know why. That's the great thing about the library is you can just try books. You don't have to read them. You can take them back. It's okay. But yeah, so I'm going to try either one of these or both of them. They're really skinny books, so that's always good. I'm running out of space. Then let's talk about, middle grade. So I will link below my best of nonfiction, my best nonfiction and middle grade of 2024. And I felt like my middle grade reading last year was kind of lackluster. It's not something that I tend to read a ton of, but I do enjoy kind of breaking up some things. And as I mentioned, I'm currently reading The Trees by Percival Everett, which is a very heavy book. I also I'm going to read my library book, The Daughters of Afam Moy. I'm also going to try and do a buddy readish with Nicole at notably, what's her channel name? I'll put it below. I'm sorry, Nicole, I forget what your full channel name is. Someone I'm just getting to know on booktube. But she's doing a reading of Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison, and I am very excited I'm going to do that with her because I've always wanted to read the book, but it just feels a bit daunting. But I know that's going to be heavy too, and so I decided, since I was at the library, I could get a few middle grade books to kind of break up the heavy reading. I got The Eyes and the Impossible by Dave Eggers, which I think features, the main character is a dog. And everyone that I've heard read this, raved about it, so I'm really excited. And I think it won a Newbery. I don't know. I think it did. Then I've always wanted to try Nick Stone, and so I got Fast Pitch. And this is about a girl that's on the fast pitch softball team. I played softball most through high school. I was definitely not on a fast pitch league, that's for sure. But so we've got that one, and then an author that I've read from before that I really like is Jamie Sumner. I read Summer of June, I think that's what it's called, and I really liked how Jamie Sumner writes. This one is Time to Roll. Want to try that one. And then this one is Deep Water. So 2 options from her. And then because it's, you know, snowing or supposed to snow, and we never get snow in Atlanta, I want to try The Green Glass House by Kate Milford. I know that this is a series that many people on booktube who read middle grade like, and the cover just felt appropriate. So there's that one. Oh, and I'm not done yet, because you know I like to go look at the new releases shelf. I did get a couple of nonfiction. So one is The Mindful Body by Ellen J. Langer, Thinking Our Way to Chronic Health. And then, I'm not endorsing this book. I was interested. And so I thought, I just had a very interesting conversation with a coworker, and I just decided, hey, I'm gonna just, yeah. Should we go extinct? A Philosophical Dilemma for Our Unbearable Times by Todd May. I don't know. This may be my favorite of this whole book haul. We never know. We never know. Typically, how I decide to take a book home is if the topic is interesting to me, and then I'll read a little bit in it to see if the author's style is kind of something I can follow, and all of that was check. So it's a really dark cover, really dark topic. So we'll look at that one too. And then I just picked a couple that I'm pretty sure I got this one out before. This is Days at the Morisaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagasawa. And I think she goes and helps her uncle with his bookstore. And then Apartment Women. This one has been out for a minute, but it kept jumping out at me. It came out in 2018 by Gu Byong Mo. It was translated in 2024 by Chai Young Kim. And this is about, basically, it's in Korea, and women take part in this right in the middle of the whole pile of library books. Mabel decided that she needed to sit there. Can you back up a little bit? Sit. Okay, let me just finish. This is the last one, I promise. Women, it's kind of an experimental apartment house where the government is trying to increase the birth rate. And so by agreeing to go live in this apartment house, the women are agreeing to have 2 more children in a certain number of years. And then the women do move there with their husbands and existing child or children, and the women start to become friends. I'm just curious. So anyway, that's all of my library book haul. And the easy thing is, if I don't like any of them, like I'll try them, I can always just take them all back, and yeah. So that's what I love about my library. Let me know if you've read any of these, if you recommend them. And yeah, I'll check back with you and let you know which of these many library books I read. I hope y'all are having a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye.